Plot holes in Demon Slayer. All the explosive battles in Demon Slayer don't hide the fact that there are a few aspects of its story that just have you like, huh? Many, if not all of the biggest animes and mangas have plot holes, and Demon Slayer is no exception. Today we are going to be discussing a couple of these loose ends. For the first plot hole, let's go all the way back to the first episode. A certain moonwalking demon king paid a visit to the Kamado household and slaughtered the family. But the eldest son, Tanjiro, managed to survive by being out on a charcoal sale. Not long after the Kamado bloodbath, we got to see our first demon slayer in the series. The water Hashira Tomioka Gyu, who had a heated encounter with the siblings and kick-started Tanjiro's journey as a demon slayer. But the question now is, what was Tomioka doing there? Gyu stated, "If I had gotten here half a day sooner," meaning he had all intention of performing his demon slayer duties in that village. But this doesn't make sense, especially given how the Demon Slayer Corps operates. Demon Slayers are sent on missions via Kasugai crows to locations known to inhibit a demon causing chaos of some kind. For Hashiras, it's even more complicated, as they are only dispatched to locations where the danger level and stakes are much higher than what a normal Demon Slayer can handle. Most likely when a Kizuki is involved. We saw this at Mount Natagomo, the Mugen Train, and the Entertainment District. We are sure Demon Slayer Corps never got reports of any demon attack or missing persons from Tanjiro's village, because before the tragedy, it was a safe space where demons were only a myth. To add to that, Muzan has been in hiding for years, and Kagaya himself confirmed that his plans and movements were unknown to the Demon Slayer Corps for years. No Hashira even knows what he looked like, not to talk of knowing how to track him down. So, we can't say Gyu had any prior knowledge of this attack, or that he was on a mission to investigate that area. So, how did he know to go there? Kagaya wouldn't send a Hashira as skilled as Gyu to investigate a random village on a hunch. So I guess we can say it was just one of those unreasonable things that had to happen so our protagonist's story could begin. That's just one out of a whole bag of plot holes in this video, and it only gets wilder from here. Still, in the early stages of the story, another huge gaping plot hole exists. After Tanjiro meets Urokodaki as instructed by Gyu, and he teaches the ex-charcoal boy water breathing. But the sensei also does something else that was just mind-blowing. He hypnotized Nezuko so she could suppress her demonic urges, viewing all demons as enemies while humans as allies. This really helped the sibling duo in their future endeavors, but I can't help but wonder, how on earth did he manage to pull that off? Demons have already been established as man-eating rabid dogs that can only be subdued by their master, Muzan, and the only way for a human to deal with them was to kill them. So the fact that the former Hashira managed to brainwash a demon in a manner that was never made clear is something that needs to be questioned. And no other character throughout the series referenced or used any techniques that could hypnotize demons. So, was the old man a form of psychic? Did he promise her cookies if she stayed a good girl forever? Did he moonwalk repeatedly to confuse her into thinking he's Muzan? I guess we'll never know. It doesn't end there though. When it comes to making plot holes, Urokodaki Sakonji was one hell of a digger because a lot of things he did within the short time we saw him didn't make sense. At least hypnotizing Nezuko saved lives as opposed to this next one. When Tanjiro successfully cleared the final selection, Urokodaki was amazed that he managed to survive and kill the morph demon which killed 13 other of his students. But this ridiculous old man, why would you put him and the rest of your disciples in that dangerous situations in the first place? The hand demon targeted several of his beloved prodigies because he was the one who defeated it and put it in that Wisteria prison in the first place. It figured out these examinees were connected to Urokodaki after seeing his trademark warding mask on them. So, knowing this, why would he keep giving his students the mask? Why not warn them about this danger? He was basically sending his students to face certain death over a loose end he created. Since we are on this topic, why didn't he just kill the morph demon all those years ago instead of allowing it to take more lives? Shouldn't that be the goal of a demon slayer? Even if he couldn't do it himself, If he alerted the Demon Slayer Corps that there was an anomaly on their testing grounds that endangered examinees, they would have definitely done something about it. He's not the only one to blame though. The Demon Slayer Corps is a well-organized supernatural institution. So, how couldn't they have noticed such a danger on their testing grounds all these years? It was a fact that the amount of examinees who passed the Demon Slayer exams grew thinner and thinner, with a lot getting slaughtered during the test, and they never bothered to look into it. And for almost 50 years, this demon persisted in killing numerous slayers within the testing ground, and nobody who saw or survived it alerted the corpse of its existence? Poor innocent Tanjiro went through a lot of hell training under this guy, but one particular training method was way too unusual. Kamado had to face the ghost of one of Urokodaki's deceased disciples, Sabito, and oh boy did it get real. Characters going up against spiritual manifestations during training is not a rare thing at all, especially in anime. But when it becomes confusing is when a being that's meant to be a hallucination lands actual blows on that character. We know of demons, but spirits have never been established as a thing in Demon Slayer's paranormal world. So seeing Tanjiro get his butt kicked numerous times by a vision and actually get hurt made no sense whatsoever. The next plot hole involves the Demon Slayer's methods. The most popular way to slay demons is by decapitating with a Nichiren sword. However, one Shinobu Kocho, lacking the strength to do so, employed her own method of killing demons using wisteria poisoning. While this unique style does establish her medical background and status as the insect Hashira, one can't help but question why the other Demon Slayers don't use wisteria against demons. It would be a great way to up the ante and give the Slayers an extra edge against these demons. I mean, it's one thing to match these demons in combat, but decapitating them can prove to be extremely difficult, especially when faced with a Kizuki. So why not make things much easier by lacing the Nichiren swords of all Demon Slayers with wisteria poison? If it were used on special weapons like Kanroji's whip sword, Gyomei's spiked flail and axe, Genya's gun, and other weapons that could cover incredible distances, slaying demons would become an almost seamless affair. But the series never gave a proper explanation as to why this didn't happen, so let's just call it copyright. On to the next big hole. Urokodaki wasn't the only one who withheld vital information from Tanjiro that could have helped him on the long run. Tamayo lived in the era where the original breathing users were active. In fact, she was saved by the one and only Yorichi, so she was aware of the Demon Slayer mark and other Demon Slayer abilities. This raises the question, why didn't she reveal anything to Tanjiro when they first met? I mean, she must have seen his Hanafuda earrings, which was a major thing connecting him to the Demon Slayer overlord who saved her. So why not bring anything up? Well, I guess we could just say she forgot since it's been almost 500 years since then. But still, at least a reference would have made things clear. Speaking of first meetings, let's talk about the one with the main protagonist and antagonist. When Tanjiro and Muzan first met, things could have gotten a lot more heated. And by that, I mean Tanjiro could have died horribly. After identifying the Demon King through his amazing sense of smell, Tanjiro approached Muzan, wanting all the smoke. But Muzan, however, was desperate to maintain his secret identity even after seeing the earrings of the man who nearly killed him centuries ago. Since he was dedicated to ending the sun-breathing bloodline, it didn't make a lot of sense for him to let Tanjiro go. If he wanted, he would have easily killed Tanjiro and murdered all witnesses and still stayed on the low while ensuring his survival. But hey, it wouldn't be shonen without a bit of plot armor, right? Tanjiro's sense of smell is really something, but smelling underwater? What? When Tanjiro fought the Swamp Demon, he was completely submerged in water, but somehow he used his powerful nose while he was down there and even unleashed a water-breathing technique. I mean, water style or not, breathing underwater isn't a thing that's possible, and hence, Tanjiro using his sense of smell in these situations is also a big slap in the face of logic. We have said a lot about Tanjiro, but how about his closest companion? Nezuko went from being a charming teenage girl to a demon, forced to live in a box for the most of her life. But some things about her demonic nature weren't made clear. For instance, why did she go from being adolescent to having the mind of a toddler? Why did she lose her ability to speak? This is a world where we have seen demons maintain their human intelligence after being transformed. So, for a demon that powerful, why is she an exception? The next plot hole is a small one, yet it revolves around a different demon. During Tanjiro's fight against Daki in the anime series, he managed to cut off her leg. Demons have powerful regenerative abilities, so of course she grew it back. But there was something quite troubling about that scene. Daki didn't grow just her legs back, but also a piece of her clothing. Even for upper moon demons, that just isn't possible. So, how was she able to do it? A character we can't overlook in this plot hole discussion is Inosuke Hashibira, whose backstory has a couple of questionable aspects. We were made to believe that he was raised by boars after his parents were murdered by demons. But I can't help but ask, how did he learn how to speak? Boars can't speak for themselves but found a way to teach an infant Japanese? And something even worse was that he created his own breathing style named beast breathing. How did he manage to do that? Even the powerful Hashiras from Yorichi's era couldn't develop breathing techniques by themselves, so how did Beast Boy figure that out? This creates the idea that Inosuke is just as talented as Yorichi, and we all know that isn't close to being the truth. Let's move over to the Swordsmith Village arc. The Swordsmith Village is a top secret location that's hidden from everyone in order not to risk the implications. The Demon Slayers, even top ones, have no idea where this village is, and Tanjiro had to get piggyback for days while taking directions from crows to reach there. Even the people who carry others to the village don't know where it is. But Gyoko somehow found its location and invaded it. How on earth did Gyoko find the village? That was never explained throughout the series, and it just makes the whole top secret status of the village seems like a big joke. For the final plot hole, at least for this video, we'll take a step back and look into the origin of the demons. Muzan was indeed the first demon, and he became that way when the drug he hoped would be a cure for his ailment ended up being a curse. The blue spider lily is the progenitor of all the havoc in the Demon Slayer world and was something Muzan sought throughout his years as a demon to cure himself. As stated in the manga, the reason he never found this flower was that it only blooms about 3 days a year and only during daylight. But this is where we question Muzan's intellect gain. In over 1,000 years of searching, did he really not attempt to gather information from humans? Manipulating humans into doing his bidding and finding the flower for him is certainly not an impossible task for someone as powerful as Muzan. So, the explanation we got was really unconvincing. That's all for this video, and we hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.